Hello and welcome to a brand new game for the channel. Today we are playing Slay the Spire. Now, while I've been away for a little while, being ill, I have been playing this game a lot. It was on my to try list, and without being able to record for a little while, I decided, give it a try, see what it's like, and I got addicted to this thing. It's such a fun game to play, but as I say, I just completely addicted to it. I must have put like 20-30 hours in like 2 or 3 days. Ridiculous. So I thought I'd do a couple of runs on the channel, see if you guys enjoy it, and if you do, we might come back to it again, but let's run through. So I'm on the beta branch of the game at the moment, which is why I've got the third character unlocked just here. But these are your characters. So you've got the Ironclad, you've got the Silent, and you've got the Defect. Defect, I think, is probably one of my favourites. But we're going to go with the Ironclad. So this is the first character you get in the game. You unlock the next one when you get a certain distance in the game with the Ironclad. But we're going to embark because it's going to be easier explaining what the game is as I go through. Now, this whale you get when you sort of come back to the game. If you've gotten to the first boss, the whale shows up to give you some bonuses. I'll just take some random potions from him, but this is the map, and the goal is to get to the end here, which is the boss. And to do that, you slowly move through these areas. As you can see, unknown, merchant, treasure, rest, enemies, and elites. So what is the game? It's a card-based dungeon crawler. So we'll enter this combat and you'll see. So you have a set number of cards in your deck to start with. And you draw these cards, and each one does something different. So you've got attacking cards, you've got defending cards, you've got slightly better attacking cards. Here's your energy. And as you can see, all these cards cost 1 or 2 energy. So depending on what you do, depends on how many actions you can do. So this creature is going to attack us for 11 damage this turn. So I'll do 2 defends, which gives me 5 block each, and then attack. And then next turn, draw the next 5 cards, so on and so forth. As he's going to be defending, I can just attack. But you'll come up against loads of different enemies, loads of different situations. There's different events in the game and things like that. And as I say, it's just, for such a simple game, it just sort of caught me and I can't stop playing it. Can I kill you this turn? Probably not. Okay, we'll defend and attack then. Now, up here, you can see Burning Blood. Each of the 3 characters start with an artifact. And this particular artifact heals me for 6 damage at the end of my turn. At the end of the game. At the end of each fight. There we go. I got it right eventually. So depending on what character you play, you'll get a different one of these, but it'll always be the same unless you change it with the whale. Awesome. And at the end of every fight, you get to add a new card to your deck if you want. You can skip it. So we'll go with that one. You happen upon a group of what look like purple fire spirits dancing around a large bonfire. The spirits toss small bones and fragments into the fire, which brilliantly erupts each time. As you approach, the spirits all turn to you expectantly. So If I throw something into the fire, I will receive a reward based on the offer. The rarer the card is that you throw away, the better the reward. We're just going to go with Bash because I don't like it that much. Nothing happens. The spirits seem to be ignoring you now. Disappointing. It's a good way to remove cards from your deck if you want to get rid of them. So, yeah. Ooh, a shop. So the shop offers you 5 cards for your deck, 2 colourless cards. Now the difference between the red cards and the colourless cards. The red cards are only for the Ironclad, so I won't see these cards with the other two playable characters. These are, just for the Ironclad. These colourless cards I will see across all 3 characters. So all 3 characters can find these particular cards. The merchant also offers you potions and different artifacts, some of which are ridiculously OP. For example, the ice cream. Energy is now conserved between turns. So if you don't use all of your energy in a fight, the next turn you'll have that much energy extra, which can be ridiculously OP if you play it right. You also have the card removal service. So the cost of this service increases by 25 for the rest of the run. So every time I do this, the cost increases, but it will let me remove one of these cards from my deck if I wanted to. There's also curse cards that end up in your deck that sometimes you'll want to get rid of, so the removal service can be helpful. We don't really have much money at the moment, so I'm just going to skip most of it. So there, for example, I didn't use all my energy because I had no need to defend, which, would mean this turn, if I had the ice cream, I'd have 4 energy. Which would have been nice. But as I say, for such a simple game and such a simple concept, it's just so much fun to play. And, the different characters, you'll end up with different cards in your deck which do different things every time. So, for example, Juggernaut. Whenever you gain block, deal 3 damage to a random enemy. That is ridiculously OP with the Ironclad, because the Ironclad you can get into a very big blockable, like a very big block, and you could end up, with ridiculous defense, never taking damage. Eek. Okay, we'll use 2 attacks, kill that one straight away, and then block, so we'll only take half the damage. I want to do that and block. So now, when you use a power card, it disappears from your deck for the rest of the fight, but I've now got Juggernaut sitting on me, so whenever I block, I will deal 3 damage to a random enemy. As that's the only enemy, that's the one I do the damage to. Which means I can now damage the enemy just by blocking. At the end of the fight, the effect will come off of my character and go back into my deck as a card. So every fight I'll have to activate it, but, Now, this enemy is a much harder one than the regular enemies you'll come across, but if you manage to defeat it, you'll get a new artifact to sort of pick up. So fighting these whenever you see them can be a good way of getting lots of artifacts, and having lots of artifacts can help you in the run, because as I've said before, some of them are overpowered. So if you manage to get a lot of the overpowered ones, all by luck of course, then your run can go a lot easier. Okay, I'm taking a lot of damage. Now, the potions all have different effects, so at the moment I've got a poison potion, which I am going to use actually. I've got a swift potion, which lets me draw more cards, and a dexterity potion that raises my dexterity. And as you can see, dexterity improves block gained from cards. So with 2 dexterity, that would make this block increase to 6 block. And the reason that the block is in red is because I've got lowered dexterity because of an effect this guy gave me. You know what, actually, gonna drink that. Now the poison will hit it every turn, and that poison count will go down by 1. So every turn he'll take however much damage that this number is. So when it was 6, it did 6 damage, then it went down a number. So this turn it will deal 5 damage, then it will drop to 4, and so on and so forth. And I think next turn I will kill it. Yeah, there we go. So there's the new artifact. So this artifact will upgrade 2 random attack cards from my deck. So, yeah, okay. Dual wheel, thank you. So at a campsite, you've got 2 options. You can rest or you can upgrade a card. Now, upgrading cards, as you can see with these ones, the name will go green once you've upgraded it, and that means you can't upgrade it again. There is one card, I think, in the Ironclad's deck that specifically says you can upgrade it multiple times. Other than that, it's once per. And as you can see, the upgraded effect is it deals more damage. Now, that won't always be the case. Some of them will deal more damage, some will increase the block. You know, some of them will cost less, some will deal more damage, like, you know, this effect might be deal 5 damage to a random enemy whenever I block, or it might lower the cost, or it might make sure this card goes into my starting hand every turn. So, you know, different cards, different effects when you upgrade them, and you can see what will happen to it. So if I went in here to upgrade, yeah, so this one will just deal more damage. This one will just make its effect more powerful. And yeah, so, but as I say, depending on the card, depends on what the upgrade will actually do to the card. But to be honest, my health is pretty low, so I'm just going to rest. And oh, hell with it. Another elite. Okay. So first off, we're going to dual wield so we can copy this card and make a duplicate of it. Then use them both. The other thing I'm going to do is drink this potion, actually. This potion will raise my strength, which will mean my attacks do more damage. I'll also use Juggernaut, just because it's a good idea whenever I do need to defend, that I'm still getting damage output. So these things are adding these cards into my deck at the moment, and they're just unplayable and they just sort of block your deck eventually, because it'll just fill with them. Right there, and boom. Awesome, so I've got rid of one of them already. Again, dual wield. Hopefully, if I get the right cards next turn, I will win. I didn't get the right cards. Kill you. Double block, so I won't get any damage. And kill you. Dreamcatcher. So whenever I rest, I may add a card to my deck. Nice. I'm going to skip all of them because none of them really help me. So occasionally you'll find a treasure chest, and that will normally come with a single artifact and some gold. So this particular artifact, at the start of each combat, draw 2 additional cards. And rest. And I'm going to go with Thunderclap. Dual wield. I want more cleaves because cleaves hit everything. I'm going to take some damage, but there we go. Why block when you can just win in one turn? Yeah, no thank you. Do I want to go after another elite? Yeah, okay. Oh, wow. So, I come across a dead adventurer on the floor. His pants have been stolen. Really? Also, it looks though he's been grounded and trampled by a horned beast, though his possessions are still intact. You're in no mind to find out what happened here. So I can search him, and there's a 25% chance the monster returns, but I'll find loot, potentially. Or I could just leave. Yeah, alright then. Oh! So I just got an artifact, or a relic. So I could continue searching, but it increases the chance the monster comes back. But after grabbing that relic straight away, no, I'm done. Ooh, second one of you. Okay then. Now he's asleep at the moment, so he's not actually going to do anything. He does wake up, and if you let him wake up naturally, he'll then attack straight after. Whereas if I sort of whack him one, then, you know, I get sort of an extra turn of vulnerability. So, shock him and smack him. And a little bit of defense just so I don't take as much damage. Okay, next turn should kill him. Yeah, definitely will. Self-forming clay. Whenever you lose HP in combat, gain 3 block next turn. That's not too bad. That I like. Now, thieves. Every time they hit you, they will steal 15 gold. They will then try and block and run away after a little while, so you do want to kill them quick, because otherwise they'll steal your cash. Which, you know, kind of makes sense for thieves. So, this particular card, deal 4 damage to all enemies, heal for any unblocked damage. So, if I hit him for these 4 damage, I'll gain 4 health. Which, you know, good thing. Considering I am about to die. So when you kill those, you get all of the cash that they had stolen from you back. Plus whatever they were holding, of course. Yeah, no thanks. There's always a campsite just before the boss battle. Which is always a good thing, because, you know... yeah, no, none of those are that good, to be honest. Right, and the boss. Now, there's several different bosses, so it won't always be the same one for the level. But, you know, let's first off heal a bit, just so I've got a little bit more health. and vulnerable. Wow, that's going to hit me for a lot. And I have no block. Throw a weakening potion and drink that so that I get more blocks. Dual wield Juggernaut. So now I've got 2 of them. I can only use 1 of them for the minute, but it'll mean that I can deal more damage per block when I use that second Juggernaut. And managed to get a lot of shield just from taking damage that turn because of the self-forming clay. Did lose some HP, which is a bad thing, but now he's adding burns into my deck, which deal damage to me at the end of my turn for any that are in my hand, which not the greatest thing, but not a lot I can do about it. Ah, dual wield Juggernaut again. Probably should have done vulnerable first. Right, so thunderclap, strike and strike. I'm going to take damage from that and him. Wow, I'm going to be low on health. Ouch. Right, I'll block everything with that, so get another strike. I'm probably going to die now. We'll block, we'll attack. Yeah, I think I'm dead. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, damn it. So if I'd managed to kill the final boss, or that boss, I'd then go to the next level, which is basically just another map. I think there's 3 maps and then you're on the final sort of stretch. But yeah, as I say, it's a fun game. Depending on the character you choose and depending on the deck that you get, it just... the combinations of cards and stuff like that and how the battles take place can be so much fun. Now, there is a seed system. So if you get a particular run where you really like, you know, how it worked or whatever, you can play it again if you enter the right seed, or, you know, you could enter a random seed, but may as well just embark and that sets a random seed anyway. But yeah, a lot of fun, really liking the game. It's still in development, so, you know, but check it out on Steam, and I shall continue playing this at least for an episode or 2 more, just to show you the other characters as well. So our next run we will probably do the Silent, so I can show you what this guy's all about. But if you guys enjoy this game, let me know, and, you know, I'll probably come back to it then. But yeah, so like, comment, subscribe, and I shall see you next time.